Fresno State students will be able to vote on March 19th through the 21st. The Collegian is proud to present this debate featuring 2 of the 3 candidates running for the office of ASI President 2013.
Take camera 3.
First candidate is Moses Menchaca. Mr. Menchaca is a third-year senior majoring in political science and minoring in animal science, business, and philosophy. The second candidate is Jose Luis Nava. Mr. Nava is a junior majoring in political science and minoring in Chinese. The third candidate is Lucas Lundy. Mr. Lundy is a 2-year senior majoring in recreation administration with an emphasis in community recreation and youth services. Mr. Lundy cannot be here as he is spending this semester in Florida interning at Disney World. He provided the following statement to our viewers. Hello everyone. As you know, I wish I was in Fresno to celebrate this year's wonderful election campaign. I hope everybody enjoys the debate tonight and knows that I have plans for all of you because awesome Fresno State students deserve awesome things. The candidates joining us here will now each give an opening statement about themselves and how they hope to make a difference at Fresno State. They will have 1 minute to give their opening statements. I will then ask the candidates a series of questions. Mr. Menchaca, you may start.
Thank you, and I just wanted to thank the Collegian for giving Fresno State students the opportunity to hear all candidates and listen to the different things that the candidates are providing. If you look at my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Menchaca2013, you can see my dog's platform, which was derived from a lot of the things I'm currently doing in ASI. Along with these plans and others, I plan to be a successful president and help give back to Fresno State students. I believe that it takes a president who is truly for the students in order to contribute and make the plans of ASI be more efficient. I hope to continue a lot of the things that I am doing, such as degree orientation being a priority, occupation reform, getting more students involved, as well as securing a safe and secure campus.
Thank you, Mr. Menchaca. Mr. Nava.
My name is Jose Nava, and I'm running for president. My platform is the basis of my platform. I'd like to thank the Collegian, first of all, for hosting this debate. And I'm running on 3 things. I want more library hours. Students, every day I'm in the library till 11 p.m. and I hear students every day ask, like, why isn't the library open longer? And that's one resource that students need. It's something we all do. We all study, we all have late nights, 3 in the morning writing papers. I mean, that's something that goes directly back to the students. Also, another thing is more transparency in our student government. We need to know where our money is headed, where it's going. I personally want more resources for the students. That's my priority. And another thing is safer and secure campus. I mean, there's been a lot of assaults, and there's also been a lot of bike thefts, and we could stop those things. We just need to sit down with campus PD and kind of see what we can do.
Thank you, candidates. For the question and answer period, the candidates will have 1 minute to answer each question. The candidates will alternate in answering the questions first. Mr. Menchaca, you will answer first. What do you think the job of ASI president entails?
Take camera 2.
Well, working closely with current ASI president, we can see that there are multiple aspects. However, the primary job is being the voice of the students, going to committee meetings, talking to administration, saying these are what students are demanding, these are what students want. Some of the other things that I think President Montano has done a great job is including students in understanding how the campus works, such as Fresno State 101, which I would like to continue, and doing things like I Love Fresno State Week. By being the voice for students and continuing such projects, I think the president would be inclined to continue such things. Thank you.
Take camera 3. Camera 2.
Mr. Nava, go ahead.
I think the job is, the job for president, I think we must,
Ready, camera 1.
represent the students. We need to go out, not only here on campus and talk to the students, but we also need to take those students and take them to Sacramento to lobby. Because I mean, at the end of the day, the legislators are the ones that make those decisions, to cut our budgets. And we need to put pressure on the legislator, to fund higher education. I mean, we had a great campaign last semester with Prop 30, and that passed. And now Jerry Brown's proposing unit caps for students, and we got to rally against that, because a lot of students in STEM program, a lot of students in engineering take more than 150 units, and we need to tell the legislators that stop these cuts.
Thank you.
Camera 1. Camera 2, stay on Nava.
Our second question is, what is the #1 issue facing the Fresno State student body, and how would you address it? Mr. Nava, you will start this question.
Take 2.
Right now, one issue that's
Ready, camera 3.
bothering a lot of students is lack of safety on campus, and we need to emphasize we need to work with campus PD to ensure that our campus is safe. Another issue I want to talk about is budget cuts. I mean, last semester we had a victory with Prop 30, but those cuts are still coming. Jerry Brown's latest budget proposal has those unit caps, and those are a big concern to me and to a lot of other students, especially those in science, math, and engineering classes. So we need to work towards that. So thank you.
Take camera 3.
Mr.
Camera 2,
Menchaca.
over to Menchaca.
I would agree with
Stay set.
Mr. Nava that safety is a primary concern. However, there's also other facets of that, such as the awareness of alcohol poisoning and health problems. And I think by working with UPD and working with things like Crime Prevention Week, which I helped put on with the Center of Parking and Safety, and also extending outside of the campus, such as more lights around the stadium and areas of that, I think those are going to be definite improvements to the Fresno State student body. Because with all the exams that we have to take and the homework assignments, the last thing that we should worry about is whether our bike is going to be stolen or whether we can make it safe to our car. Thank you.
Take camera
Thank you.
1.
Our third question
Camera 2, stay on Menchaca.
is how do you intend to build awareness of ASI and all its functions to the student body? Mr. Menchaca, go ahead.
Well, I believe there's institutions in place currently, such as USU Productions, USU Board of Directors, Vintage Days, CIA, and I think we need to continue to increase our networking and our relationship with these organizations. A couple of the other ones that I think we need to include are the Greek community, which have perfected the art of recruiting, and also the RHA, which is the Residence Hall Association, which there's over 1,000 students within the dorms. If we could get them involved as well, we can significantly increase student participation on campus.
Thank
Take
you.
3.
Mr. Nava?
Camera 2,
I believe
Mr.
that
Nava.
ASI hasn't done
Stay
enough.
set.
I used to be
Take
senator
2.
of clubs and organizations, and ASI has not gone, out and hasn't, worked hard enough to go out and talk to students.
Ready,
I mean,
camera 1.
sure, putting on a little event is important, but we need to go talk directly to the students. Go out to the library, go free speech area, have discussions with the students and inform them of what ASI is. So, thank you.
Take camera 1.
Moving on to question 4.
Stay on Nava.
What would you do day 1 as president? Mr. Nava, you may start.
The first thing I would do is, meet with the library. I want this to happen if I'm elected president. I want more library hours. That's one of the most important things, to do, because I want to see more resources going back to the students. So the first thing I would do is, talk with the library, talk with the senators, and develop a plan to see how, the money could go towards the library, because there is money. So I think that the library is a very important, place to stay open late. So thank you.
Take camera
Mr.
3.
Menchaca, your answer.
Camera
Well, I think
2.
the most important thing is to
Take 2.
have an easier transition for the senators.
Ready.
Coming into ASI without prior experience, it was kind of hard to figure out who my constituency was, what were my roles, what were my capabilities. And working with Executive Vice President once elected and the Vice President of Finance, I would like to see the senators have better awareness of their duties. And I think once we get that, then we can start advocating for students, start listening. Once a senator knows who their constituency is, it'll better equip them to be the voice of those students. And I think that's one of the first things that we need to do. We're currently working on it as we speak with ASI transition retreats and things of that nature, and I think that's something that we have to establish immediately upon inauguration.
Thank you.
Take 1.
Question 5.
Camera 2, stay on Menchaca.
Fresno State is currently searching for a new president. What qualities do you feel the new president should have? Mr. Menchaca.
Well,
Take 2.
going to Fresno State 101, which was a program put on by President Montejano, we got to hear firsthand from a Board of Trustee member, and they said that one of the most important things is being able to fundraise. And along with that is we need to make quality education a priority. That's part of the D, degree-oriented, in my DOGS platform. And I think along with those two things, we can truly ensure that there is efficient and quality education for all students.
Take camera
Mr. Nava.
Are you talking about the
Stay
president?
set. Take 2.
The incoming president that is currently being searched for and will be hired hopefully by the end of the spring
okay.
semester.
Okay.
And take 2.
One thing that's very important is somebody that knows the Central Valley, that knows its agriculture, that knows it's that it's very diverse, that knows the people, that knows the struggles, that is very knowledgeable about this area. Preferably someone who's here from the Central Valley, someone from California. that knows, what it's like to be a CSU student who knows how important the CSU is for us, for the Central Valley. So, thank you. Yeah.
Take one.
Thank you. Question 6. Campus security is of the utmost importance, yet there's only so much money for the hiring of more police officers. What other measures can ASI and the student body take to keep individual students safe? Mr. Nava.
One thing we can do is, we could put on workshops
Ready, camera three.
like ASI has currently done, but more of them during the semester to how to prevent crime from happening, how to lock your cars, self-protection, like how to. Also, money. If money's an issue, we could donate money. Hopefully, there's extra money there, and especially safety is very important on campus. I mean, we need to protect our students. So, I would propose donating money.
Take 3.
Mr. Menchaca?
Thank you, Haley, for bringing this up. This is actually part of the S in my DOGS platform, Safe and Secure Campus, which I encourage all students to keep an eye on my Facebook. I'll be going more in depth of these. But there's 3 levels that we need for Safe and Secure Campus. First, the individual thing like Mr. Nava talked about, whereas doing Crime Prevention Week and other things of that nature. But also common sense approaches. For instance, the Criminology Department has a whole option in law enforcement. Why not utilize a way to get students involved so that way they're gaining experience to take with them in their workforce after graduation, but also providing cheap and easy and accessible manpower around UPD or staffing UPD and around the campus. And then again, also extending it to off-campus situations. And I think with all 3 of those levels, we can truly increase safety on Fresno State's campus.
Thank
Take
you.
1. Ready,
Question
camera
7.
1, Menchaca.
Something ASI should be funding that isn't already being funded by the organization. Mr. Menchaca?
Take 2.
I think we really need to look into different ways of getting more students involved. One way I think that we can is through different projects. We have a whole line item specifically for ASI projects, but I think we need to create a project where we can get students from the dining hall or from the dorms, or we can get students from the Greek community, from other organizations, from those who are commuting, and be able to find a way and a means in order to get them more involved on campus.
Take 3.
Thank you. Mr. Nava?
2, Mr.
A
Nava.
program that ASI isn't already funding and should be funding, I would
Ready, camera 1.
maybe an internship. Pick a student. Maybe it doesn't have to be paid, or maybe a scholarship for the student, so they can learn how to how the student government works, and the job of that intern would be to teach their fellow students what it's like to be an ASI and introduce them to how ASI works. Because a lot of students, you walk around campus and they don't know what ASI is. They're like, what's ASI? We know their office is in the 2nd floor of the USU, but we don't know what they do. And they have a lot of control over student money, and that money goes back to resources, scholarships, art grants, and I think it's very important for all students to know that, and they should fund a program like that to recruit more students. Thank you.
Take camera 1.
For our final question,
Ready, camera 2.
is there anything else you would like people to know about you? Mr. Nava?
Take 2.
Well, I'm minoring in Chinese, and I'm very passionate about learning about different cultures and languages and ethnicities. And I'm here on campus. I like to connect, diverse group of people. I'm very passionate about learning, and I think it's very important, that we remember that this is a very diverse campus, and we have to connect with everybody. I personally go out and connect with. I see a student in the library. I start talking with him. I'm very passionate about the world. I like learning about everything. So thank you.
Take camera 3.
Mr. Menchaca?
I would have to agree that being able to connect is of utmost importance, and I feel that I truly can connect with the majority of Fresno State students. I've gone through semesters where I'm taking 25 units to semesters where I'm just trying to find one more so I can be considered a full-time student. Semesters where I've had no clubs or no extracurricular activities, and semesters like now where I'm president of 3 different organizations. My different minors and certificates that I'm aspiring to obtain really teach me the different fields, such as in the business building or in the animal science, political science. I work in the public health department. And it's being able to connect with all these students and having these opportunities to sit down with them and relate to the GE requirements that they're going to, or through their major requirements that they have to deal with, or even the personal issues that a lot of students have to deal with. And I feel that I'm the president that truly can connect with the most students here at Fresno State.
Take one.
Thank you, candidates.
Camera 2, get it 2.
Voting will be open March 19th through the 21st.
Ready, camera 3.
Students will receive a link to their Fresno State email. The Collegian will bring you the latest coverage of the results as soon as they are available.
Take 3.
On behalf of the candidates, the Collegian, and our production crew,
Number
we
2.
thank you for watching the 2013 Associated Students Incorporated Presidential
Take
Debate.
2.
I'm Haley Lambert for the Collegian.
And fade to black in 3, 2, 1. Close mics.
Is that clear for recording? Oh. Clear.
And we are clear.
All right, we're good.
Good
Good job,
job.
everybody.
Camera 2.
Nice job.